Welcome to Go Riding TV. Today we fire up the motorcycles and go ride Ontario on a tour in Bruce County. We test some new technology on a new supercharged FX cruiser and check out this action, a little monkey business at Mossport. Go Riding TV is brought to you by GoRideOntario.com. Ontario, yours to discover. By Yamaha. What kind of Yamaha are you? And by G-Max Helmets. Quality helmets for everyone and every ride.
Get ready, let's go riding. For all you street bikers out there that are looking for a place to ride, this is one location that has a lot to offer.
Tweaking the model of an organized tour, here's a little something different for you two-wheeling cruiser types.
Are we gonna do some riding or what? I have a treat. We have you guys are VIP passport riders. We're gonna do our adventure passport, so I have one for everybody. And we're gonna cruise the countryside, we're gonna go inland, we're gonna get off the coast, and then we're gonna come back on the coast, and we're gonna see how many of these motorcycle passport punches we can get. Passport ride is something we came up with a few years ago, and what it is designed to do, it's a ready-made trip plan. You either go on our website or you call us and we'll send you a passport, and specifically for motorcycles this year, what we've done is we've tagged them with a little motorcycle symbol, and if you get all those stops, if you find all those locations and you get your card punched just like we did in the show, you have a chance to win up to $1,500 worth of riding gear from Tennyson's Yamaha. So it's a super cool reason to get your buddies together, and not like you need an excuse to ride, but we're just giving you one other reason to get out on your bike.
The route on the Passport Tour takes you through a great variety of riding terrain, including tight, twisty backcountry roads to wide, inviting shoreline vistas. The Bruce County region needs to be commended as the roads are paved in great condition and the traffic is light. Our first stop on the itinerary brought us to the quiet little town of Newstead, home of the Newstead Brewery.
Here we are, guys. We're at number 12, and the clue was at the historic brewery in one of Canada's prettiest villages. Pick up a case of 10W. 30, yeah. Hope that's beer. But look there's no punch. Uh-oh, now what? But there's a clue. It says the punch is located at the Sulphur Springs at the Saugeen headquarters. So it looks like we gotta go to another stop. But let's go check this out first.
If you ask nicely, Val will give you a tour of the brewery's catacombs dating back to the mid-1800s.
And we're actually starting to walk downhill because the brewery is built as a natural sump, because we're actually at riverbank level now. We're about 40 feet below ground here. And this is the actual brewery, because the brewery was actually built at riverbank level. All where the back of it's all been dropped in landfill, so the levels come up. But that door there would have been the door to the actual brewery outside. These would have all been storage chambers in here. Now, the next cavern is exactly the same size as this, right? Don't be frightened.
Having finished up our very cool tour of the brewery, it was ride time. In addition to awesome scenery throughout the ride, what was really appealing to the tour group was that the destinations we would stop at encourage you to get off the bikes and explore the many unique places throughout the region. Even for our guests who were from the area, there was something new to be found.
It's kind of embarrassing. There are a lot of these places I haven't been to previous, and it's very, very eye-opening.
Oh, the passport system's great. It gets you to destinations you might not normally think about traveling to. And it's stuff you want to see. It's stuff you want to do, but it's stuff you never check off your list, you know? So if you can get out and do the passport, it gives you a little bit of incentive, you know, to travel to these places, to see the sights and do the activities that's involved with them. It's a great Bruce County adventure.
We've had a couple of exciting days and incredibly hot weather. It is warm.
Being on the Passport Tour, I have actually checked 3 or 4 items off my list just in one day. And it's been great. It's something that now I can say I have done that.
After the route and scenics, completing the qualifications by which we define a good ride, comes good food. In many small towns along this route, you will find interesting pubs and restaurants that are welcoming to bikers and serve amazing grub. Even the restaurants on the trip have a bit of adventure to them and stories to be told.
everybody thinks that there's ghosts here, but the only two ghosts that I say would be here would be my Uncle Harley and my grandpa. They like I said, they've ran the hotel since 1919, and it was just a really proud moment, I guess, for me to be able to get it back into the family name and carry on some of their traditions and old family recipes, like my great-grandma's ribs and kraut, and just that home-cooked meal approach that we're really trying to promote.
Grey Bruce area has a large diversity of different areas you want to check out. We went to see a lighthouse, and then in a half hour later we got to see a brewery. Half hour from that we were at the beach. 20 minutes from that we got to see some natural springs. And then you're in the bush, and we got to see some wildlife as well, all within probably less than 1 hour driving time from everything. So it's a great spot, even for a day trip, though you can't do it justice in one day, but you can get a good feel for the area just in one day.
You can do it easily in 3/4 of a day, but why bother? You know, get our map with the passport and spend some time in the communities. The idea isn't to race around. The idea is to stop, and at some of these places you can go for a little hike to see some secret stuff, or you can go to a brewery, or you can go to a lighthouse. You know, we want you to spend some time here. It's not a speed race by any means. The goal is designed to get you into places that we guarantee that you've never been before.
For a cool bike tour, the Bruce County Passport Tour proved to be a super way to ride Ontario. For more riding destinations to assist your planning, check out our GoRidingTV.com website. When we return, we'll gear down and into 4x4 for a little Jeep Fest action.
Once known as the Jeep Jamboree, the Great Canadian Kawarthas Trail Fest picks up where the Jamboree left off.
Yeah, there's lots of posers out there with their SUVs and other 4x4s, and most are afraid to get them dirty. But not this group. They're all about getting out and giving her.
What we've done is we've set up an event here which is called the Great Canadian Kawarthas Trail Fest, and it's a vehicle-specific event dedicated strictly to the Jeep four-wheel drive vehicle. What will happen is we'll have trails that will be rated on a scale of 1 to 10. Now we don't have anything that gets anywhere close to 10. But we'll have trail ratings after that, which say, for example, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. Depending on the skill of the off-roader coming out to this event, we have a number of trails that will cater to all of their needs.
The event draws Jeeps of all styles, from stock models to totally custom rock crawling mud buggies. No matter what you're driving, everyone is here for the same reason, to go off-roading and put the skills to the test.
Never thought I could do that. That was great.
For those just starting out, there's an introductory course to teach you all the basic skills you'll need to go off safely. Under the careful supervision of experienced drivers from the London Jeep Club, you'll soon be going places you never thought possible.
I'm a first-time Jeeper, and I got a brand new Jeep that I just bought a week ago. And I got to learn how to go out in the bush and drive it safely and without doing too much damage to the vehicle or to the wilderness around it. It was great. I did things I didn't think I could ever do. It was a real challenge today. What they call basic is more extreme than I thought it would be. I thought it would be just, you know, gravel roads and things like that. A little obstacle made for you. That was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be, but it was a challenge. It's nice to be challenged like that, even as a beginner.
Ramping up the challenge for those with a bit of experience under their belts, there are trails with every obstacle you could dream of. Mud holes, rock climbs, and some intimidating hills. Never forgetting that this is off-roading, and even with the best coaching and spotters all around you, mishaps can and do occur, as these four-wheelers found out firsthand.
There was a climb up some rocks, and I think I slid off, the vehicle slid off a rock a little bit too far, got caught on the bumper on the tree here, and did minimal damage.
Okay, let's go.
I was focusing so much on what the guide was telling me. He was directing me on where I should be pointing my tires, turning my steering, and telling me which rock, which tire would be climbing. And I was so focused on what he was saying that I unfortunately didn't put my vehicle in drive, and I was still in reverse. And he says, okay, give her some gas. And I ended up going backwards down the hill over some rocks, but I managed to get up. After I got over that embarrassment and I didn't kill anybody, I managed to make it up without assistance in a Liberty.
Apparently the plastic here couldn't handle the weight of the tree that impacted this and caved the door in, and now there's a hole where the door handle used to be. Scuffed along here.
We slid off a rock and into a tree.
And then the taillight. The tree hit right here, and it had a guard on it, and the guard actually pushed the taillight in, so it's all cracked there, so we've sealed it up to keep Mother Nature out.
It's a nice, safe way to start the sport. We went on the Jeep 101 training, and then after that we were able to do some other interesting trails. And what's really nice about this type of environment is that you have a lot of guides assisting you, and they know what they're doing, and I much more enjoy that.
The big advantage is you're out there with people that have been out there, know what works, what doesn't work, both in terms of vehicle modifications. You know, they can meet people, ask a lot of questions, as well as being with experienced trail guides that can guide them through a trail safely, make sure they get back with, you know, vehicle still intact, and hopefully have learned some things along the way that can aid them in future outings.
For those not convinced to get out and give off-roading a try, Popeye has this to say.
Hey, why do you have a Jeep if you're not going on the trails? Get out there and enjoy your four-wheel drive, the atmosphere and the whole thing.
When Go Riding returns, we head to the track for a vintage bike festival and some sidecar action. What do you get when you combine a monkey and a driver? For the Go Riding crew, it means an awesome sidecar adventure with the Vintage Road Racing Association.
The Vintage Road Racing Association, or VRRA, was founded in 1980 to ensure the preservation of racing vintage motorcycles while providing member riders the opportunity to get their treasured machines back on the track. Revving up this year's festival even further was its celebration of the 40th anniversary of the Canadian round of the World Grand Prix Championship, held on this very track in 1967.
We have a couple of riders from the southern states, California, New Mexico, several from Ohio, New England states, very well represented here, plus riders from all over Canada.
Oh, fantastic. I know it's going to be a great event, and we've got sidecars here today, right?
12 rigs.
12 rigs.
Yeah, it should be a good show. Watching three wheels drift around the corners is always fun to watch.
Yeah, the sidecars put on a great show, and the monkeys hanging out the side there, especially here at turn 2. I know that's going to be great for the spectators to see how these guys maneuver their rigs around the track.
Having personal experience as a monkey, I can guarantee it's not as easy as it looks.
Sidecar races absolutely stole your attention as they blasted through the twists and turns of the Mosport track.
This has got to be the best race series of the entire weekend. We love these sidecar guys. We don't get to see them nearly often enough. I would give just about anything to be a monkey just for one single ride out there. It's got to be crazy. But a whole different perspective on the track, I think it'd be phenomenal.
This type of racing is truly a team effort. The driver handles the controls while his passenger, also known as the monkey, bounces around, shifting his weight to assist in cornering.
I just get into position and I just hang on. You know, it's fun going around, and you could feel it getting light back there. But I just hang on. I stay in position, and I just come out of it as soon as I can.
Each monkey and driver does get that balance, that symmetry, and you get to know each other's rhythm and pace. And I mean, typically if there's something that's going to heck, I mean, I'm fairly conscious of the monkey, but if there's something going to hell in a handbasket, you know, one wrap on my body anywhere, and I know I got to take a look around and chop the throttle, and but I haven't had to do that yet.
You know, I trust his driving and the judgments he's making, and he's trusting me to be where I have to be when and where everything works out, because I have as much control over the rig as he does. And, you know, if I'm not there, we're not going anywhere but off track.
It's awesome. There's nothing like it. It's such an adrenaline rush. And people say to me, would you like to drive? And absolutely not. It's way too much fun being the passenger. I just have no desire to drive at all. And the faster the better as far as I'm concerned.
There's a lot of trust and communication you have to do this.
Yeah, you bet, especially when you're hanging out the side of the car here going around a corner, right?
Absolutely.
So is this a real thrill for you to be out there, Christy, and hanging off the side of this chair?
Oh yeah, the adrenaline is something else. Lasts you through the whole day.
Teamwork is everything. It's a true two-man sport. There's no way that the driver could handle the rig at all without the passenger. When we're going through corners, I can steer it into the corners, but it's actually the passenger that helps bring the rig around the corner, so it's very important.
It is teamwork. That is definitely how we have to describe the sport, and we're there for each other.
Mossport, a world-class racetrack, famous for its blind corners, dramatic elevation changes, and high speed. It made things interesting for our sidecar competitors.
Corner 2 is my favorite. I don't know why. You've got lots of time to set up for it coming out of 1, and you're usually pretty well out full bore when you're heading into 2, and when you set up properly, you just get your hip on right on the pavement and hold on and just hang out there and watch the track coming at you. It's great.
Well, I hate corner 2, to be honest with you, because I don't like coming over that hill and not knowing where I'm going. So I'm kind of hesitant when it comes to corner 2, but the rest of them I'm pretty comfortable with. And I've come to love this track.
Turn 2 is an incredible turn. It's a little bit intimidating until you get used to it, because as you enter the turn, all you can see is horizon at the end of the pavement. You can't see where the track goes. So you have to have some faith as you come over that hill and dive down, sweeping into that long left-hander there. Very, very fast. It's really about as close as you can come to flying without leaving the ground. It's an incredible feeling.
It's blind, and you're going in there and you're committed. And the marshals are very, very important, and you take a look, and as long as you don't see the marshals jumping up or holding a waving flag, you know you've got a clear track.
Usually your stomach is somewhere up by your throat.
This racing may be exciting to watch, but others think they're nuts.
I don't do a lot of sports. I'm an accountant by trade, and they just look at me and they go, you do what? And I try to explain it to them, and they see pictures and they think it's so crazy and so dangerous.
I work in an office environment, and I have one picture of this on the wall, and they all think I'm just nuts. I've lost something.
It's not that bad. Once you get out there, it looks a lot scarier watching spectating than when you're on the track. But they do. They think we're crazy, and I'm used to being called all kinds of names because of this now. But I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well, it's been a great weekend here at the Vintage Road Racing Association Annual Festival. The sights and sounds of the vintage motorcycles of yesteryear, and some of us the riders from yesteryear. This is Alan Mast is signing off for Go Riding TV.
Closed captioning is sponsored by GoRidingTV.com, the powersports website for all enthusiasts. Technology keeps it changing. We sample a very cool wave runner when we return.
It has 210 horsepower, a supercharged 4-stroke engine, and unique steering capabilities for slow speeds and docking. Here's what's new with Yamaha's FX Cruiser.
While out at a marina shooting other materials, our Go Riding cameras caught an exclusive. Not being shy, we stepped up and asked a few questions about this never-before-seen FX Cruiser by Yamaha.
We're calling them FX SHO and FX SHO Cruiser. The difference between the two is color, obviously, and also the Cruiser has the benefit of the Cruiser seats where it supports your hip and so on. Both units features a brand new engine that's been specifically designed for water vehicle application. It is a 1800cc 4-cylinder 4-stroke EFI, and it is, as you mentioned, supercharged. We've introduced a new material which is called SMC Nano XL, which is in roughly 25% lighter than what we have previously used for material for our FX series. And also it is stronger. Other features that are new with this unit is we have a no-wake mode where when you're going through a no-wake zone and it is hard to keep a steady throttle, you can just hit a button and then it'll maintain the speed of around 8 kilometers per hour, and just sort of easy to maneuver the unit around the harbor. It also features a cruise control. Other than that, various storage. One other thing that is essential, you know, to maneuver a water vehicle is the reverse gate. So you could use the reverse to brake yourself and to position yourself. So that's one of the big advantages of having a reverse gate to approach and dock. All our water vehicle features a off-throttle steering system, meaning that if you're out large and you're cruising at a steady speed and you go and release the throttle and turn the handlebar, the unit will automatically just cruise itself and turn. So meaning we'll keep the throttle open just for a fraction of a second just to give you that thrust to turn and add the safety to it.
Answering our call for home videos, here's a Rocky Mountain Trench adventure.
Come on the shadows against the gun by, I feel blind to see your life. Never to find as you're always fading away. Come on the shadows again. Oh no, we're gonna get stuck!
Go Riding TV has been brought to you by Yamaha. What kind of Yamaha are you? By GoRideOntario.com. Ontario, yours to discover. And by Snowgore Canada Magazine, Canada's best snowmobiler. Next time on Go Riding, we put the first ever power steering equipped quad to the test and hit the Ottawa River for an awesome watercraft tour.
Hey everybody, and thanks for watching. And remember, if you have any ideas, comments, or cool events you'd like our staff to cover, surf our website at GoRidingTV.com. Send them to us. We'd love to hear from you.